The Last Page of Holloway Grange, A Mystical Legend. Chapter 1. The One Who Opens. Holloway Grange towered over the overgrown gardens like a frozen thought, half ruined, but proud, like a memory that people tried to forget. The house had long been abandoned, only whispers, mold, and the wind remained, stirring up the dust of the past. Archivist Elias Hart arrived here on a tip from an antique dealer in Durham. He said that the basement of the estate contained drafts of letters from Earl Northwick, a collection that had been sought for decades. Elias arrived with a lantern, a thermos, and a glimmer of hope. He did not believe in the legends of the silent ball, a gloomy ceremony where ghosts dance on an abandoned dance floor. He believed in paper, ink, and secrets bound in leather. But an hour before midnight, he found the diary. The cover was made of dark leather, with a ribbon lock, and the pages were fragile but clear. On the cover was written, "The Evening of Silence. The Private Journal of Miss Eliza Crow, 1851. The very first paragraph read, "My last dance was not with a man. I was walking across the hall, and I heard footsteps beside me, but there was no one there. They invited me, and I couldn't refuse." A sound pierced the silence of the house as if someone had turned a page next to him, although he was holding the diary himself. Chapter 2. The night of the first invitation. The clock in the library had long been broken. However, that night it struck 13. The sound echoed off the walls. Elias, holding the lantern with trembling hands, went up to the second floor. He couldn't explain why, he just knew he was being led. The second floor balcony, which once overlooked the ballroom, was now only accessible to the wind, but it was from there that he first heard the music: a violin, a cello, a viola, a delicate harpsichord chord, a string quartet, barely discernible, as if in a dream. The floor creaked under his feet, as if it remembered the footsteps of former guests. In the mirror by the stairs, he noticed a face for the first time, barely visible, with an invitation card in its hand. He turned around. Nothing. Chapter 3. Unsent Letters. The next day, he was sorting through papers in the west room. He found an envelope marked "To the next keeper." Inside was a letter. "If you are reading this, it means that the house has recognized you. Be careful. It does not forgive oblivion. Do not fear the shadows, fear the silence after they leave. The most frightening thing is the emptiness after the music. That is when he comes." Signed, E.M. Hart. Elias dropped the letter. His great-grandfather, also an archivist. He didn't know that he had been to Holloway. He reread the diary. A new line had appeared that hadn't been there before. "Today is the ball. Don't be late." Chapter 4. The Silent Ball. At midnight, the doors of the hall opened by themselves. The candelabras lit up, as if with the unquenchable light of the past. Shadows glided across the parquet floor, dancing slowly, as if water were rippling in the air. Elias stood in the doorway, his breathing barely perceptible. It seemed that if he breathed deeper, the line between dream and reality would disappear. He noticed Eliza Crow. Her face matched the portrait by the fireplace. She was dancing with someone invisible. Then she looked straight at him and nodded. "It's your turn." He took a step and found himself inside the dance. Chapter 5. Between 2 hours. The music did not stop. Elias lost track of time. He danced with a woman whose face was constantly changing. Sometimes she was his mother, sometimes a stranger, sometimes a reflection of himself. Each step seemed like a fragment of a memory. When the clock struck 13 again, the shadows stopped. One of them, in the voice of his great-grandmother, said, "It's time to sign the last page." He left the hall. The floor creaked under his feet again, but now the mirrors reflected not the guests, but himself, holding a diary written in his own handwriting. He returned to the library. The last page of the diary was blank. He picked up a pen. The end. Last entry. I, Elias Hart, leave this entry in the Holloway house. I heard music. I saw shadows. I danced with the past. I am the keeper. The house chose me. And when he put the last period, the library door closed by itself. Somewhere in the distance, the quartet began to play again. Now the house breathed with him. His footsteps no longer echoed. The floors did not creak. They accepted him. And in the mirror, he saw a card with an engraving, "Invitation, Elias Hart. Evening of Silence. Forever."